In motion, Duke Johnson, and they flip it to Duke Johnson on a jet sweep. He's to the 10, the 15, the 20, a cutback 25, a cutback 30. He's out to the 34, the 35. They blow it dead at the 33-yard line. What a run by the Duke! Running back, 2nd and 10 from their own 26. Mayfield gives and Chubb, stutter step left. He's out the back door. 35, 40, stutter step 45, and he's into his sideline at the 48-yard line. And a first down. Sean Williams took him out. Here comes Chubb. He gave him 22. 3rd down and goal. Baker gets a blitz. He lobs end zone. And Njoku up. He's got it. Touchdown. David Njoku. Oh, I love height. Here's Mayfield on a double reverse. Now a triple reverse. Now Landry's looking. He's going to go long and deep for Parham. And he got it at the 15, at the 10. And it's 1st and goal for the Browns inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. What a throw by Landry! Mayfield on 2nd and goal takes the snap. Plays a rollout to the right. He's throwing, is he? Now he pulls it down. Now he fires. It's caught. Touchdown, Darren Fells. 3rd and 11. Driscoll waits. Takes the snap. Drops back. Pocket. Sack. Down he goes. They got him. Jannard Avery and Ogunjobi got him back at the 15. 3rd down. He needs 4 at the 17-yard line. He's got the snap. He looks. He zings one in. Here comes Higgins across the field. 10, 5. Pylon. Is he in? Touchdown! He is in! 3rd down, they need 14. Driscoll's got it. Back to pass. He's going to get hit in the pocket. He's going to get hit again. And Ogunjobi got him. Back at the 34-yard line. The Browns defense has absolutely been amazing. 2nd and 4. Rolls right. Throws down the middle. Njoku's got it. He's at the 40. 45-50. He's at the 45-40. 35-30. 25-20. 50-10. 5. Down at the 2-yard line. David Njoku. Big man on the loose.
Welcome back, Survivors. Episode 49, Season 3. This is Surviving the Season live from the Baywater Studios in Tampa, Florida. I'm Adam. Greg's here.
Yo, live from my kitchen this afternoon. How are you? How was Christmas for you down there in Florida?
Yeah, warm. Nice.
Yeah. It was good here, too.
Wasn't bad
good
at all.
Food.
Yeah? Nice.
All the kids had a good time. So, yeah, everything went well. Hope everybody out there in Browns fandom had a good Christmas, obviously. Things are looking better for us. Usually we're pretty depressed around the Christmas time, but one game left. Can you believe it's here? One lousy game. I feel like I don't want it to end.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like it shouldn't end. We're playing good ball. This is the best ball we've been playing all year. And it's going to end, and you go into, you just never know what's going to happen in the off season. Somebody gets arrested for, insider trading or whatever, might happen this summer. You don't know. Somebody important. Who knows? Maybe Miles goes off to, somewhere in some other country in search of the long lost dinosaur he got wind of, or
no.
Baker calls it quits. The pressure finally succumbs to him, where it just he can't stand Colin Cowherd just all over him anymore, and he has to hang it up due to the pressure.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think so? I mean, I'm telling you, to me, Baker, some people get really upset about this whole Baker looking back. You saw that after the game. A lot of people, when you look on Twitter, there's actually people that are upset. Can you believe this? Well, some of the people being like Mike Silver and the likes, who are, the Hugh backers. But the fact that this makes people upset, if you're a Browns fan and that makes you upset, that's just silly to me. That's very strange. It does. How do you not like that kind of swag? I don't know. When I see it took me one time to watch Conor McGregor talk trash after, it was either before one of his fights or after. And I go, okay, this is my kind of guy right here. I love that. I need that in my life. I need more of that. I need guys that talk trash and then go and back it up. The Muhammad Ali types. It makes it more. It just adds that extra little bit of it puts a little bit more risk on the table. Oh, you're going to run your mouth, and now you got to back it up.
Yeah, it'd be different if we weren't the walking mat of the entire NFL for the past 3 years or whatever.
Now we
win a few games and we can talk a little trash. Now everybody, you're disrespecting Hugh. Oh, okay. All right.
Well, as a Browns fan, we've been disrespected for 20 goddamn years. So give me a break. Suck it, Hugh. But overall, I got a chance to go back, watch the game. You want to dive right into that stuff?
First, I want to dive into that shirt because it looks like a surviving the season.
And it is and isn't. It's a I survived the Cleveland. Can you see that?
I survived the Cleveland's drought, 635 days.
635 days. It's like my wife got it for me. I think it's from homage, whatever you call it.
Yeah. Well, not only did we survive, we talked about.
It's fitting.
Yeah, we talked about it through those 635 days.
Yeah, they didn't even know that they made this. They made a T-shirt that fits our show. They had no idea.
We should have reached out.
Yep. So, it's pretty rad shirt. I appreciate it. Teresa, my wife.
Yes, thank you, Teresa. Good choice. Do we have anything to talk about from the last game, the Bengals game?
Well, a little bit. One of the biggest things so Greg Robinson, offensive line's been playing well, but Greg Robinson just whiffs way too many times on run blocks. Like he's just to me, and he did it a number of times in this game. Remember what was it, 4th down and 1, and we went for it against the last game. Who did we play last game?
Denver.
Before that? Yeah. So when we went for it, he gets hit in the backfield. Greg Robinson gave up that. And then that happened a number of times in this game. He gets beat to the inside often. And when you see those hold calls, he gets called for a hold in this game, gets beat on an inside move. That is his biggest fault, is getting beat to the inside. And that's what I wrote down. At the beginning, I go, Jesus, he keeps whiffing on these inside rushes, he's going to get called for a hold. And then when you get down to the fourth quarter, it happens. Hubbard beats him to the inside with quickness, and he's late getting off the ball. Like he lunges, like they snap the ball. He's lunging forward, and then he's got to stick his arm out. Once you get that arm out and the player's rushing, once you get your arm out like this, that gets called. Like I know people that aren't on Twitch can't see that, but once you get your arm out there and the player's rushing into your arm, even if you're not holding, like it's a weak call, right? It's a weak call against on Hubbard, but it's a hold. Like they see that your arm's extended and you're wrapped around the guy, they're going to call you for a hold, like 50% of the time there. So
yeah, it's like his feet are too slow for his body to catch up. He's always out of position.
Yeah. But he's super athletic. That's the thing. Like he's very athletic. It's like he just lunges forward. The ball snapped and he's going forward and thinking like he's got his mind made up. This is where I'm going, instead of like sort of reacting to what the defensive players do. And it seems like they all know if you're going to beat this dude, you're going to beat him on one of these inside moves, and they keep doing it over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the takeaways. The other takeaway was Emmanuel Ogbah was a beast in this game on the interior. He did a fantastic job against the run. There was times he had quarterback hits. Now, he hasn't got a lot of sacks. I don't know what he has sacks for this year. Maybe like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
not a lot. But is it helping them that they're sticking him so often as like the 3 tech in this defense? Because that was basically his main job this last game, was playing interior defensive lineman. And it could be something to do with just the lack of depth there that they're doing it. But I think that's really what's bringing down his pass rushing productivity. But at the same time, he's showing that he can be really good against the run. He was really good against the run, we know, last year as the edge guy. I mean, he had a number of stops in the backfield. But this year, he's doing a really good job of holding off now, like more stout run blockers. So I wrote that down as, hey, Emmanuel Ogbah doesn't show up in the stat category, but the guy's getting it done. That's for sure. He's really getting it done lately.
Yeah, he's mostly moved inside because of Avery being the edge, right? Like you're rushing Avery off the edge, that then it allows Ogbah to move inside.
Yeah, but that's fine that they do that, but I think that's what hurts Ogbah's pass rushing stats in the long run. Because Avery's doing a good job getting to the quarterback, so good for him.
Yeah, the formation works out in our favor.
Yeah, well, we'll get to this, but I'll show you like what Baltimore runs from a defensive line aspect. Like there's 8 guys that rotate constantly. They all have 400 to 600 snaps. And then you look over at what the Browns are doing, and it's not even close. Like we're just, we don't have the depth there. So if you, I'm not saying you have to even get these guys in the first round. When you look at a Ravens lineup of what they have, they got a bunch of 3rd, 4th, 5th round guys that are on the defensive line that contribute a ton, give you a ton of good snaps. And at the same time, they didn't cost you, a number 1 pick, and you can count on them and rotate through them. So that's probably something the Browns are going to have to do. They definitely need to improve just the total depth of the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's get into that 3rd down and 17 that we had talked about after the game that we give up. We give up the first down. There was a 3rd down 17. Cody Core, I believe, was okay.
Did you get booted for a second?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you were talking about Core on the 3rd and 17.
Okay, 3rd and 17. Cody Core picks up that first down, and I was talking about it being maybe Jamie Collins not playing his zone. He ended up going up and playing the running back instead. Well, I went back and watched it. The safeties go to like that robber. Where Peppers comes down, you have 2 safety playing the middle of the field. Demarius Randall's playing the deeper half, and then Peppers is playing the shallow half. Mm-hmm. And Peppers, I think, ends up playing the slot guy rather than playing his open area. That is what opens up the space where Cody Core goes in and picks up that first down. So I think that was a mental error on Jabril Peppers on that play, not Jamie Collins. But
okay.
I don't know the exact defense that was called, but that's what it looked like they were trying to do there. So right. I don't want to I hate going. I think it's this guy's fault after the game, and then making sure that you got to credit the guy whose fault it was. I don't want to make it look like it was Jamie Collins' fault when it actually wasn't.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That was TJ Carey definitely had a pick 6. Had Avery not tipped that ball that we talked about, that was for sure a touchdown. If Avery doesn't tip it, TJ Carey, there's nobody even in front of him, so that would have been a pick 6. But unfortunately, that got batted down. 3rd down and 8 and 3rd down and 9 runs for first down that Mayfield had ran. You remember those 2 late in the 4th quarter, both against man defense. Both times he was just looking for the open receiver. He sees man coverage. The field opens up and he just takes off. So just good recognition from a quarterback knowing, hey, I need 8 or 9 yards to get the first down. If they're going to play man, I know nobody's going to be on me, and I'll be able to just get through the line and get the first down pretty easily. So rookie quarterback, good recognition though.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up Landry a few times. His downfield blocking is really, really good, and I think it's a good lesson for younger receivers too. That you got to block downfield in the NFL that can really open something up. On the last play to Njoku, Landry ran down and really lambasted one of those dudes in the Cincinnati secondary. It's a great block at the tail end of the play. And you just love for Landry to go down there and get some taxes anytime you can.
The thing on that play is I feel like if Njoku had 2 plays where that one, I feel like if he just continues to run straight up field instead of trying to cut across the field, he may get it into the end zone. And then there was another one it was in the first half, and you can see where he caught the ball and he tried to make the DB miss. Do you remember he only had like a 4 or 5 yard gain early in the game? And he had room to cut it up and get upfield for like 10 yards, but he tried to make a guy miss rather than just taking the yardage that was there. And you can see after that play on the all 22, he gets tackled and Mayfield makes that motion with his arm, like, get upfield. And then so did Greg Robinson standing right next to him, like, goes, you got to go upfield. Don't run sideways.
Yeah. It's you want the guy to try to make a play, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's what Njoku. Hey, if Njoku makes that guy miss, he's getting 20 yards instead of 10. But at the same time, just take the yardage that's there and keep the sticks moving at that point.
Yeah, there was also a run play. I think Landry and Higgins opened it up for Chubb, where just to go back to the wide receivers blocking, it's huge just to get in the way of somebody. They don't have to. You don't have to seal that good for Chubb to skip by. It just has to be sealed for a split second.
Right. And another one I think that's highly underrated right now is that Njoku's getting blocks out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And everybody always says, well, he's just he can't catch. He's a bad wide receiver. He can't block. Like, what good is he? You have to really watch this guy. He's doing a much better job as a blocker. And again, that's just going to improve with time. Yeah. Keep giving this guy time, in the offense.
Yeah, nothing but straight up for him.
I have the thing with Robinson written down again here, so I'm going to skip over that. And then Miles, I don't know if you've been noticing this, Miles Garrett throwing in the spin move over the past couple of weeks. So I'm like, just be ready for this. He's bringing the Dwight Freeney spin move sack to one of these games. You're going to see it. But he must have been working on it because he keeps trying to pull off that spin move, and eventually it's going to work, and he'll end up. He's so athletic, it's going to come off just like one of those Freeney, and somebody will say, "Oh, Dwight Freeney, or is that Myles Garrett? Who is it?"
There's 2 or 3 times every game where Myles gets such an amazing jump that he's almost moving before the tackle, and you can see the tackle just in a straight panic. Myles gets held so often with no call because he's so fast.
Yeah, well, it's not fair sometimes. He's just so much more athletic, and especially in this game, man. He was not only more athletic, he was just out muscling the dude over there for I can't think of his name right now, but the kid that came from the Bills. On the touchdown to Uzoma, remember I couldn't remember who it was on the coverage. It was Peppers.
Oh, it was Peppers. Oh, shit.
Not Randall.
Probably not Peppers' best game then.
No, I looked on Pro Football Focus. Actually, he was like second or third worst. Like, he was the best last week, and then it was like second or third worst on the team this week. I mean, it's up and down. You know how that goes. You're not always going to play great.
What was the missed tackle on Uzama that got Ward hurt? Was it Peppers?
Oh, that's what we were talking about. That's who it was. I don't know who that was.
Okay.
You know what?
I think it was Randall.
Whoever that was the one we were talking about, not the touchdown pass.
We did talk about the touchdown pass as well.
Yeah. But it's not like what I was going to say about the touchdown pass. Peppers is in good position. Peppers is playing good defense. It was perfect placement. Like, that's where you want the ball to be for your 6'5" tight end. There's just nothing you can do. He put it up into the corner. Peppers is in position, just can't make the play.
Yeah, it's too short.
But that was all the takeaways I had of things to go back and watch from the last game and go over a little bit. I think the main thing is, Greg Robinson's getting the job done now. But if we're going to go into next season and go, okay, this is our starter, that's fine but to get no competition for him and to bring anybody in and see if they can beat him out, I think is a huge mistake. I think you have to just try to improve that position any way you can. If Greg Robinson improves in the summer, great. Greg Robinson improves in the summer and he can keep that job.
Yeah. It won't kill you to bring in competition or draft somebody for that matter to be prepared to take that spot.
Well, you got to think
left or right tackle.
You got to think if you're drafting a tackle, he's probably not going to be ready to play year one anyways.
Sure. So
let's just say you sign Robinson to a team-friendly contract, which I would think that any contract Robinson's going to sign is probably going to be a team-friendly contract. You got him for a year. You got him locked up. You take a shot on a guy that you like, and either you develop him into your starting left tackle, or Greg Robinson keeps playing well, and you just do what you did with our second round pick this year, where he sits a year. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, nothing wrong with that. You got 3 good players in front of him who are going to play him, and until he outplays them, that's fine. That's where we sit. There's nothing wrong with that. Too often we go, oh, this guy was drafted here, he needs to play now. If you got good players in front, why do we have to rush him? We have plenty of time with these guys.
Yeah, agreed. We'll be getting into the draft very soon here. Week 17 is up. You want preview time?
Yeah, what's the spread this week? We're away. We're away.
Week 17, the 7-7-1 Cleveland Browns travel to the 9-6 Baltimore Ravens. Playoff implications for them. It has been moved to 4:30 on Sunday. Browns are 6-point underdogs on the road.
6. So 3-point on a neutral field. They're playing well. I would say Baltimore's got one of the hottest defenses right now. If you go by DVOA, they are the number 2 defense in the league, only behind the Chicago Bears. So from a defensive standpoint, we know we've played these guys. And if you recall, do you remember what they were laughing after the game at Baker? Do you recall that? I wonder if Baker's going to hold this against them.
I don't know. I don't remember them laughing.
Eric Weddle said, we were just laughing about it. We thought it was hilarious. He was just staring down wide receivers. We should have had a ton of picks, and we didn't make the plays. And we just laughed about it because we knew we just played bad.
Yeah.
Is the chip on Baker's shoulder? Is he? He's going to have it up there,
for sure,
waiting for somebody.
Yeah, yeah. That was a 12-9 win in overtime on that knuckleball kick with 2 seconds remaining. Could have been almost another tie.
You have the stats in front of you right there
of that game.
Yeah,
we can get those pretty quick.
Okay, I was just wondering what Baker. I didn't actually write those down or anything, but how did Baker do against them last time? I thought he had a relatively decent game. Now we only scored 12 points, but
Baker was 25 of 43, 342 yards, 1 score, 1 pick.
Yeah, but according to Eric Weddle, he should have had about 4 or 5 picks in that one. He thought Baker was terrible, so. It'll be interesting. Now, I'm wondering how Baker's going to react to that, if he's going to have a reaction, if he even knows that it happened. I'm sure he does. It feels like he hears everything.
Yeah.
And he gets upset by everything. So
whatever gets you up for the game, I guess. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not get fired up about it?
Well, they're coming off a big win, too, because this game, like you said, playoff implications for them. If they win, they are in.
Yeah, they win the North if they win.
If they lose and the Steelers win, the Steelers are in.
Yes.
But if the Steelers lose, it doesn't matter. They're in no matter what.
Correct.
So the Steelers have to win. But Baltimore has their hands in, whatever they do, it's up to them. So now I went back. I got a chance to watch the Chargers game, and Chargers have been playing really well. And they beat the Chargers 22-10. And you go, 12 points is kind of a blowout. They only gave up, but Chargers are right there at the end. Chargers had an opportunity to win that game. They were driving late in the fourth quarter. Gates fumbles, and the ball's picked up and returned for a touchdown. So that's how that score gets to 22-10. But it was a very competitive game. It was right there. Baltimore really, we know they're running out Lamar Jackson now. They really didn't do anything offensively in that game. I mean, they're not impressive at all. If there's there's a way that we can beat them, it's going to be getting those turnovers. So what did Flacco throw against us last time? You still have those up?
It wasn't a lot. Let's see here. Flacco was 29 of 56, 298 yards and 1 pick. Alex Collins was their leading rusher with 59 yards on 12 carries.
Yeah, he's on IR.
Yeah.
Alex Collins. And now they're running out Gus Edwards. So offensively, they've gone they're like super heavy run right now. But when you look at Flacco to Jackson's numbers, they're actually pretty close. They're a lot closer than what you'd think. Lamar Jackson completing 58.2% of his throws. Flacco is completing 61.2%. Lamar Jackson 6 touchdowns to 3 picks, and Flacco is 12 touchdowns to 6 picks. So same difference there, and split, same split there. And Flacco has thrown a little more than double the amount of passes. So he's basically giving you what Flacco was giving you in the air, which is surprising when I went back and looked at it, because he's terrible. I just think I can barely watch him throw the ball. So what's that?
He's not a very good passer.
No, it's pitiful. But on the other hand, he's been running all over the place. And I don't have it, of course. I don't know why I didn't put that down. But he has somewhere around like 600 yards rushing. And what they're doing is a lot of the read concepts where, they snap it to him. He decides if he wants to give it to Gus Edwards. He reads that defensive end, sees if he wants to keep it or give it to Gus Edwards. And the nice thing that they're doing with Gus Edwards is he's a rookie, but he's a big boy, and he's just plowing forward. And it's like, we're going to get 4 yards in a cloud of dust, and they're perfectly happy with that. Running the clock, pushing the sticks, pushing the ball forward any way they can. He's actually averaging 5 yards a carry. 125 carries, 642 yards, 2 touchdowns on the year. So he's been relatively efficient. And I think a big part of that is you're so worried as a defense about Lamar Jackson keeping the ball because he's such a playmaker that you'll give up Gus Edwards. You'll go, oh, well, we'll key on Lamar Jackson before we go and key on Gus Edwards.
Yeah, those stats are real close to Lamar's rushing stats. 127 attempts, 605 yards for a 4.8 average in 3 scores. He's fumbled 8 times, though. He's only lost 1, but he's fumbled 8 times. That's got to be a little bit of a worry.
I believe that counts as his drop back passes also. I think if you're looking at Pro Football Focus, they count those, or
I'm looking at ESPN
count
stats.
Those all together. So it might I don't think that's just on carries alone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen that before, and I've looked it up to make sure. Well, actually, this says Lamar Jackson has 10 total fumbles on the
8 rushing and 2 passing.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, 8 rushing fumbles. Like, good God, what are you doing, man?
127 attempts.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, his rushing grade is 26, or his fumble grade on Pro Football Focus, 26.8. So, yeah, that's about as low as you can get. Now, the other guy that has come back, and since, what's his name, went on IR.
Alex
Collins. When Alex Collins went on IR, they brought back Kenneth Dixon. Now, Kenneth Dixon, this was a guy out of Louisiana Tech who I thought would have been a nice little pickup at the time. I think he can catch the ball, he can run the ball. He's a pretty shifty guy, but he's been injured and he had PED suspensions, so that's really held him back. But he's been getting a lot more carries as of late. So even he's got 216 yards on the year just recently within the last couple of games. So that's it's Gus Edwards first and then Kenneth Dixon. But that's what they're going to try. They have to establish the run first. If you look at, we've talked about this all year from a defensive standpoint. Overall DVOA, we are 19th in the league. Okay. I'm sorry. Overall, we are 11th in the league, 21st against the rush, and 6th against the pass. So if there's anywhere that we struggle, it's against the rush. But we've been playing. I mean, the Denver game, when you go back to that Denver game, they said, what do we have to do? Stop the run. What did they do? They stopped the run. Probably the best game they have ahead of the year. And then when you go back to this last game, I thought they did a really good job against the Bengals, keying against the run. So if there's anything that you can learn from these past 2 games, it's that if they want to turn up that heat against the run and they want to, focus on that, I think they can get that done a lot better. So I'm not that scared of Baltimore. Typically you would look at that and you'd say Baltimore rush offense is one of the higher rated in the league. Cleveland's one of the worst rated in the league defensively, but this is a good matchup for them this week because they've shown they can get it done here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just going to be coaching here, right? To coach up the right defensive scheme to manage Lamar Jackson. You've got quite a few starts now to look at. Once he started 6 games now, I think.
I mean, a lot of it is just staying at home, play your responsibility. Don't try to do too much. Play within the defense and make him beat you with his arm. I just have yet to see him consistently, like, of course, you're in a National Football League. Of course, he's going to hit shots from time to time, right? Of course, he's going to hit some throws, but is he going to consistently do that? To me, it does not look like it. His accuracy is just not there.
Well, this is a team you want to get up early on too. If you can get a first quarter score, get a turnover or something, and then get up by 2 scores. Where they have to throw the ball, I think they're going to find it's a bit trouble, but we'll see. We'll see on Sunday.
Now, would you receive the opening kickoff this week?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Bill Belichick has this thing. The only reason why you might not want to, Bill Belichick has this theory that you never take the ball on the road because that's when the crowd is most amped up at the beginning of the game. And then even if you just wait a couple minutes and the game's got started off, they're already tired because they've been drinking in the parking lot for the last 4 hours. So you just need to, it's almost like, like a really good boxer. He's facing a power puncher. He's like, I just need to get through the first 3 rounds and then I can coast. But you got to get through 3 so you don't get that knockout blow landed. So maybe let the crowd calm down a bit before. But yeah, you're right, 100%. Like, this is the kind of team, if you don't want them pinning their ears back and coming and get you because they have those kind of pass rushers, So I was going to do a little bit more on the offense actually, and then we'll get into that defense. But they don't. When you look at their wide receiver crew, like one, we already said we need to stop that run first. But 2, it's like who's even going to throw it to? They got John Brown, Willie Snead, and Michael Crabtree. Any of those guys worry you at all?
Nope.
Yeah, me either. Like, Michael Crabtree he's about done. Like, he's ready for the glue factory. Willie Snead's a slot guy. And John Brown, he can get it done. Like, he can beat you. And this is actually not, if you recall, I don't know if you still have those stats up, but John Brown was having a good year up to the point where Ward shut his ass down that week when we played him.
Yeah, I can probably look that up real quick.
That's fine. But so not having Ward, I guess, would be the only thing. I would expect Mitchell then to be put on John Brown, because if TJ Carey's out there starting, like, Crabtree's slower, Crabtree's a bigger possession receiver, that's fine for TJ. TJ Carey can handle Crabtree all day with no problem at all. I just don't want him being out there with a burner like John Brown.
John Brown had 4 receptions for 58 yards on 14 targets.
Yeah. Now that's what I would consider being shut down. Yeah. 14 targets, 58 yards. That's pitiful. Pitiful. Now, where they actually have kind of excelled this year is when you look at that tight end group, and they got 2 rookies playing. Hayden Hurst was hurt early, but he's been back as of late. He only has 11 receptions on the year for 120 yards, but he's being outdone by the other rookie tight end, Baker Mayfield's guy, Mark Andrews from Oklahoma, who has 30 receptions, 498 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So both of those guys can catch the ball and then run after the ball or after the catch, which is a major plus. These aren't guys that just catch the ball and then fall down. So we know the one thing the Browns can do is make your tight ends look a hell of a lot better than what they really are. So, that would be another key. Let's stop the run first. Let's not let them have easy completions to these tight ends. Make them earn every single yard that they get.
Right. Yeah. You want to keep them in 3rd and longs, but you don't want to give up those 3rd and 8, tight end across the middle, just standing there.
Yeah.
And gets 9 yards. Those are the ones that drive me crazy.
Yeah. Insane. It seems like since Peppers, they've been doing a lot of Peppers on man against the tight end. He's been doing a really good job. That was the one thing that I questioned about him coming out of the draft. Like, what is he going to do? They just did not do that at Michigan. Like, they played zone. He did not man up guys at Michigan. So we didn't know. Plus, he's not the tallest guy. He's a shorter safety. And he's got to play against these guys 6'4", 6'5". And for the most part, he's been really getting it done. So, we talked about the touchdown he gave up to Uzoma last week. But that's been that hasn't been the consistent thing that's been happening against him. I think we've seen Peppers making more plays than getting beat.
Yeah, and if the quarterback puts a ball into the right spot, nobody's defending the pass anyway in the NFL.
Exactly. I mean, these receivers are good enough to know how to use their bodies, properly, where they just box you out. I mean, look at what Jarvis Landry did on that one throw that had no business being caught we were like 3rd down and 18. We didn't pick up the first down. Do you remember Jarvis Landry on the tiptoe sidelines last week? Yeah. That's just all using his body, shielding away the defender. And then the same thing with the Fells touchdown. You're just boxing out, shielding away the defender. It's money throws. put where nobody can get it, and the receiver is smart enough to be able to use his body. That's the one thing that I was sort of complaining earlier in the season when we were playing. What's the 6th round draft pick wide receiver? Now his name is completely
Ridley.
Okay,
Radley.
What is it?
Ratley.
Yeah. Damian Ratley. So Damian Ratley earlier in the year,
Ridley.
He had opportunities where he, to make a catch, but he's not seasoned enough to know how to use his body properly. And you see that. So you see, like, that's the difference between a guy who's been around, who's done it, and has done it at this level, because you just can't get away with the things you got away with in college. Like, nobody was manning Ratley up in college at his size and running a 4.5 40. Like, most guys aren't that fast. So you get a lot more easy receptions. But now you get here, everybody's on your level. You have to learn those little tricks of the trade, or you're just going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck at, and never being able to get over that hump. And so that's the thing that you see from a guy like Fells, who's been in the league a long time, and a guy like Landry, who's just been getting it done like that for a long, long time.
Yeah.
All right, let's get over their defense, where they're just absolute studs. So I wanted to talk about that defensive line. So this is what they do. Like, there's 8 guys. Michael Pierce, 361 snaps. Brandon Williams, 489 snaps. Brett Urban, 497 snaps. Chris Wormley, 388 snaps. Those are their defensive tackles. Matt Judon, 633 snaps. That's their defense. That's the way they rotate them. And then you go over to ours, and I don't have it up right now, but I wish it's like double that. But we don't have anybody except for Ogunjobi, Myles Garrett, Agba. It just doesn't make sense. Myles Garrett's played 947 snaps. The most snaps anybody's played is Terrell Suggs on the defensive line, 694 snaps. Same amount of games, but 300 more snaps that you're getting out of Myles Garrett than what they're, because we just don't have anybody to play these things.
Yeah,
we have no way to substitute guys in. Nobody's getting it done except for the guys at the top. I mean, Agba's missed games and played more snaps than anybody on the Ravens defensive line. And these guys all have 15 games, 15 games, 15 games, 14 games, 13. You know what I mean? So they have all played all these games, and Agba missed a couple, and it has more snaps than everybody. That is the best part of what this Ravens defense has, is that they are just, the depth on this defensive line is exactly what you're looking for. Like, this is optimal. And they get it done in so many ways. And then you get to the defensive end, like the ends there, the guys that the edge rushers, Zadarius Smith. He's only played 646 snaps. He's got 10 sacks. He's got 59 total pressures. Like, that's ridiculous kind of numbers. Terrell Suggs got 50 total pressures, 8 sacks on the year. Tyus Bowser, who was a 2nd round draft pick from last year or the year before, I can't remember. They only have to have him play 154 snaps. He just comes in when they need somebody to pass rush. I mean, they're set up so perfect that this is if I'm looking at something to build, like, hey, I want to look at somebody else's roster on how to make my defensive line look. You just go look at the Ravens, and they play a different style defense. They play more odd front than even front like we do. But at the same point, like, you just have to look at that and you go, oh, that's why they're fresh all the time. That's why these guys
can rotate in fresh dudes. And then the offensive line is also looking at a different technique now. This dude might have different moves or whatever than the last guy.
I just think that they're so lucky to be in that, to have the assets that they do there. And of course, C.J. Mosley, he's a Pro Bowler. He's the middle linebacker. I was going through all his stats, which we had talked about, that Darius Leonard, who was sort of like the snub, comparing it to C.J. Mosley, and he had just blown him out of the water. And then you look at how he goes like by Pro Football Focus, and C.J. Mosley, Pro Bowler, his overall Pro Football Focus rating is a 65.5. That's average.
Yeah.
That's nothing special. That's how these guys get voted in the Pro Bowl. Oh, you've been there before, C.J. Mosley. Yeah, well, I know that name. Vote him in. This is why new guys can't get into the Pro Bowl.
Right. Yeah, it's a bit of a popularity contest.
Yeah. So their other linebacker, Kenny Young, he's a rookie 4th rounder out of UCLA this year. He's been okay. You can burn him in coverage, if anything. That's that their linebackers have not been playing as well as they had in previous years this year. But where they're really good at is that cornerback. They have Marlon Humphreys, Jimmy Smith, Brandon Carr, Taven Young. If there's anywhere you're going to win there, it's in the slot. And that's typically Taven Young. But outside Marlon Humphrey, Jimmy Smith, and Brandon Carr, that's a nice trio. And when you look at that, you wonder why this team is the number 2 ranked DVOA defense on Football Outsiders. It's because you have that defensive line, and then you have this ridiculous cornerback room right there. Those 3 guys, we could use it. That to me shows me that we need at least one more cornerback.
Definitely.
Right, in this offseason. And then you go to your safeties, you got Tony Jefferson and Eric Weddle, 2 of the best in the game. Just absolutely getting it done. I look at the safety room and I go, they have nothing over us. Like, our guys are as good as their guys there, but we need another guy in our cornerback room, and we need probably 2 or 3 guys at a defensive line group
up front. Yeah, that can provide pressure and depth. Come in to spell our guys and be fresh.
So
got to get lucky in the draft.
So Mayfield needs like 2 touchdowns, I believe, to tie the record, right? Peyton Manning touchdown record
for a rookie.
Well, obviously, yeah. Actually, Pat Mahomes has like 48 touchdowns. What is the record for passing anymore for the whole league? He's got to be close.
I don't know. And Mahomes is damn near a rookie himself.
He had one actual game played
week
before,
17.
But so that was brought up to me, like, well, Pat Mahomes is basically a rookie too, but there's a difference. Like, he did have a full year in Andy Reid's system to learn that stuff, a full year of practice. So even though, he didn't play,
he's also behind a professional quarterback too.
Right.
He's watching Alex Smith get ready for the games.
Yep.
Alex Smith is, say what you want about him. He's been in the league for a while. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to prepare.
Oh, absolutely.
It's perfect for Mahomes to sit there and watch him do what he does, and then go, okay, I'm comfortable now. I can do this.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you got to think he had to be a lot more comfortable coming into year 2 than Baker Mayfield did coming in and learning a new offense. And, to me, it's not comparable because it's a full year in the same exact offense that you were running the year before. He just, he's just going through it. He's even throwing to the same guys. I guarantee they had him getting a ton of first team reps. Andy Reid's no Hugh Jackson. He's smart enough to know his quarterback of the future is going to need some goddamn first team reps.
Yeah.
Morons.
Yeah.
So prediction time. What do you got?
I think the Browns are going to win. I don't.
What?
It's probably going to be.
Love it.
Somewhat low scoring again. The Ravens are playing for the playoffs, but I think the Browns are going to get up for this one. These are usually like blowouts for the team that isn't playing for anything. But I think the Browns are actually playing for something here.
Oh yeah. I think the Browns are going to travel well this week too.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of Browns fans out there.
Best case scenario is Steelers lose and the Ravens lose.
What's that, dude?
The Steelers will get in, but
wait, I thought the Ravens get in if the Steelers lose.
Yes, you're right. The Ravens have 9 wins. I'm sorry. If the Steelers lose, they're done. So,
okay,
perfect. I wish the Steelers played first. I know they move these games so that they line up.
Where do the Steelers play?
They also got moved to 4:30.
Oh, okay. And
they move them to line up so you don't get like a competitive advantage. If the Steelers lose, the Ravens could sit everybody.
They're not losing to the Bengals.
I'm just saying that's why they move them to the same time slot. It's just a competitive thing,
right?
Just so that nobody gets an advantage. But I think it'd be awesome if the Steelers lost and then the Browns beat the Ravens. Like, we're coming for all of you next year. We got beat out on just a missed field goal here. A missed field goal in New Orleans. A missed field goal in Pittsburgh. Week 1. Come on.
Yep.
We could be playing for the playoffs right now. So
a blown first down call against the Raiders. Just bringing back Hugh Jackson at all. Yeah.
I think
things could have been so much different.
The division's going to be on alert. The Steelers are definitely rooting for the Browns this weekend. That's pretty funny. I saw a couple tweets from Steelers fans. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go in the black and gold of Pittsburgh colors. They are rooting for the Browns.
Hell yeah!
What do you think? You think the Browns can pull this one out?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not afraid even for the slightest of Lamar Jackson. No, I know people were like, oh, well, I'm upset that Lamar Jackson went to Baltimore. I'm not afraid of Lamar Jackson at all. Like, maybe he'll get there one day, but where he's at today, his throwing ability is nothing to scare you about. I don't even think his arm is that good. When I see him throw, it's just, almost to me looks like he throws floaters. When you compare that to Baker Mayfield's arm, I don't think they're even in the same ballpark.
Nope.
Now, his athletic ability is something that is, he can do things that you just typically don't see in this league, but you can contain that. If you want to tell me that you're going to build a team based around the run in 2018, I say good luck to you. I'm just glad that I'm not rooting for you, because there's no way that you're going to be able to sustain running the ball as the main focus and being a good offense. It's just not going to happen. No way about it. You have to be able to throw the ball in this league.
Especially when you're losing.
Exactly. You'll be able to do that when you're up.
Yeah.
And they can do that when you have a great defense.
True. Yeah.
But a couple injuries. You're a couple injuries away on defense from that defense going from a great defense to just a middle of the road defense.
Yeah, they're also aging too, right? A lot of those dudes that you mentioned are starting to get up there. Weddle's 33.
Suggs, Weddle, they're in their 30s for sure. Now,
those corners are old.
CJ Mosley's a free agent this year.
Yeah, okay. So Mosley's only 26.
Yeah. What a free agent. No, I'm sure they're going to re-sign him. It'd be silly for them not to.
Unless you want to bring him over to Cleveland.
They're not going to let that happen, I don't think.
It's always nice to poach dudes out of your own division.
Yeah. Yeah, and coaches like you, right? Good thing we poached him.
Yeah. The worst. All right. I think we're wrapped.
Yeah. Anything else that you have?
No. I've been digging into the free agents a little bit. We'll probably talk about those. Geez, we're going to be in postseason here real quick.
Actually, after this Sunday, I can't believe it's the last game of the season.
Yep, season's going to be
big. Thank you to everybody out there that's been supporting us all season. Keeps us going. We really appreciate that. Every time you guys tell us, "Hey, man, I listened to the show," or whatever, when you comment, we know people are listening, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a huge 2018 for us. We've grown quite a bit, so that's always fun. Compared to from 16 to 17, it was a big jump, but even bigger jump this year. And I think the Browns being good helps.
Yeah, it typically helps that they have a product. They're putting out a product that you can actually watch
people without
slitting your throat.
I actually do want to follow this. So it's great to have everybody aboard. The people that came back after maybe that week 2017 season, good to have you back too.
I survived it right here. 635 days.
Right on. So this was live on Twitch again, twitch.tv/STS podcasts. You can follow us up there if you guys want to watch the podcast filmed live. We're going to continue to do this. Maybe we'll have a regular schedule in the off season. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's probably a little more guests in the off season, a lot more draft talk, free agency talk. We'll wrap the year. We'll do a year in review right after New Year's, and we should be streaming all those live. So follow us up on Twitch. That'll be fun. We have Twitter.
You can hit us up anytime on Twitter at STS Podcast, and our email is
survivingtheseason@gmail.com. Thank you for all the ratings, support, and sharing the show with your friends. Patreon.com/STS Podcasts. If you want to financially support the show, we love all of you people there. Our executive producers, thank you so much on Patreon. #Road to Redemption. One more game to go, fuckers. Greg, tell them what we say.
Keep on surviving.